not join us this morning. So one last bit of housekeeping. You have an etiquette of online engagement that was sent to you. So you might just want to peep at that if you haven't already. So the first speaker that's my privilege to welcome is the DVC academic of UWC, Professor Levac. And she's going to take us through the history, the context, and the future. We know how important it is to look back, to look around us, and then to look up and look to the future. So it's my pleasure to introduce Professor Vivian Levac to you as she presents her welcoming address. Thank you, Professor Levac.
Thank you very much, Lon, for that kind introduction. Good morning, and I want to acknowledge all our partners, our stakeholders, colleagues, and students that are present at this occasion. It is really my pleasure to do a short address on the occasion of the launch of our Bachelor in Community Development program. Like Dr. Lon said, it is fitting that UWC, where our interim constitution in 1993, the South African Constitution, was drafted, and having just celebrated Human Rights Day on Sunday, that we launch our Bachelor of Community Development program today. Across its history of transformation and social justice, through many seasons of UWC, there is something that is a constant UWC. During my courageous conversation with alumni that we've done from between 2017 and even last year when we celebrated our 60th birthday, it became clear what distinguishes UWC from other institutions is that community engagement is in our DNA. We don't talk community engagement, we do community engagement. And the way in which we interact with our communities has led us to not follow a soup kitchen or a handout approach to community engagement, but rather an integrated scholarship of engagement, where community engagement is integrated with our learning and teaching and our research. It is valued at UWC and recognized in various ways. So, for example, you cannot be promoted if you don't provide any evidence of how you've integrated as a scholar your community engagement with learning, teaching, and or research. We have community engagement awards for individuals, for teams, and we started in 2016 the annual community engagement colloquia and celebrated last year with the first issue of our Scholarship of Engagement report. So where does the BCD or the Bachelor of Community Development fit in? It is an example for me of an integration of community engagement through curriculum that will have the development of our communities as its outcome. We at UWC, we're firmly committed to and accountable for the role that we play in society through knowledge production towards the advancement of mankind and her surroundings. Since the apartheid era, we at UWC have played a leading role as an agent of change to bring about a better life for all. And we continue to do so in our first year since inception. Our success during the past 61 years and the different seasons of UWC has been built on our relationship with strategic partners and networks. Partnerships contribute towards offering an environment of community engagement, academic excellence, and cutting-edge research that are locally and regionally relevant, as well as globally engaged and innovative. I'm privileged to announce and confirm the launch of our Bachelor of Development program, our 4-year graduate degree. This is the first professional qualification of this kind to be delivered in the Western Cape by our university, and it was only made possible due to stakeholder partnerships and networks with people and structures such as yourselves. This means that UWC is the first higher education institution to deliver this undergraduate degree in the Department of Social Work in the Faculty of Community and Health Sciences. And there's a very good reason why this faculty is not called the Faculty of Health Sciences, but the Faculty of Community and Health Sciences. We as UWC remain committed to graduate practitioners who will bring about sustainable communities, first and foremost, and also a sustainable world in which we can prosper and thrive. Department of Social Work and Faculty of Community and Health Sciences, all the stakeholder partners, networks present here today, you have done us as UWC proud. I thank you.
And we thank you very dearly and right from, who we are. And I thank you for reminding us about the DNA in our partnerships. Thank you, Professor Levac. So it's my pleasure to introduce the next speaker to you, the Dean of Community and Health Centers, Professor Rode, and she's going to share her reflections on the purpose and why we are where we are today and where we're going with our heart in this degree. Over to you, Professor Rode, and a warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everybody. I would like to add my acknowledgements of those present to that of Professor Levac. Thank you, Professor Levac, for those kind words. To all of you joining us today on this momentous occasion, be welcomed. It is indeed my privilege as the Dean of the Faculty of Community and Health Sciences to welcome you to this groundbreaking celebration. Today, I invite you to celebrate in making history, a history of celebration, a history that will leave a legacy in South Africa. During 2020, UWC celebrated its 60th year of existence. Our own pathway demonstrates a commitment to transformation, the importance of engaging in meaningful partnerships to indeed be the agents of change. I am proud to announce that our Bachelor of Community Development is now successfully underway. We welcomed our first cohort of about 50 students to this degree, engaging them in a virtual space when we started lectures on the 15th of March, 2021. The inclusion of community engagement has been foregrounded across the various phases of our institutional development and at the heart of our faculty's mission and vision. Your presence today is yet another celebration of our commitment to engagement with various stakeholders across the sector. COVID-19 and the pandemic has certainly changed how we view and experience our world today. But I'm proud to confirm our commitment to produce graduates who will make a difference to the lives of many communities, hence graduates who are change agents. Please indulge me as I walk you through the history of this offering. The year 2010 marked the 50th year of the founding of UWC. This was also the year that the importance of pursuing a professional qualification in community development was realized. This institution was appropriately placed to pursue delivering such an offering because of the commitment to fairness, pursuing social justice, empowering communities in order to achieve democracy and freedom. And more importantly, the celebration of partnerships, collaboration, and shared responsibility to achieve the required change. After many challenges and internal setbacks, the Bachelor in Community Development 4-year undergraduate program colleagues is a reality. Please join me in briefly honoring some, but not all, as the list is endless, of those internal and external partners and stakeholders who initiated this journey from 2020 to 2021. The National Department of Social Development has been a key stakeholder in South Africa in initiating a process towards community development, recognition as a sector and a profession since 2008. And as a result, ensure for the legislated frameworks of community development qualifications as this program. The Department of Social Development, together with the professionalization task teams, has walked this journey with us since 2010, with the request to offer the BCD visit, which happened when they met with the then VC, Professor O'Connell, the DVC, Professor Baruthram, and Mr. Mortar, and several others, the Dean and the HODs at that time. Additionally, support was also received from the Department of Higher Education, from the CHE, from SAQA, and the CHS via the said task team. So we got all the permissions we needed. And so the journey began with an institutional technical committee that was established and who consisted of Professor Baruthram, Professor Tahir Hood, Mr. Mortar, Professor Joseph Franz, the then Dean of CHS and now the DVC Research and Innovation, Professor Rina Swart, who was then the head of Department of Human Ecology and Dietetics. This committee held broad consultation sessions across campus at the time with other faculties, other deans of faculties, departmental heads, lecturers, etc. The faculties that were engaged was the Faculty of Arts, departments of Ethics, Geography, Women and Gender Studies, and in the Faculty of EMS, the School of Government, and in the Department of CHS, actually in the Faculty of Arts and Humanities, Sociology and Anthropology. In CHS, we engaged with Psychology, the Department of Sport, Recreation and Exercise Science, the Departments of Dietetics and Nutrition, as well as Professor Priscilla Daniels, who was the Director of the Community Engagement Unit. And so all of these consultations took place to develop the framework and the content for the BCD accreditation application to CHE and SAQA. In 2012, we received the accreditation to offer the program, the first of all universities in South Africa to do so. However, as it sometimes happens, colleagues, we did not have the resources to offer the program at that time and to roll out the qualification. Yet still, the resilience and ethos of the UWC and its staff prevailed. And in 2015, the process was once again reflected on and gained momentum. And then the new DVC, Professor Vivian Levac, again, Professor Swart and Professor Franz was involved. Dr. Vanessa Brown, who then joined the academic planning unit. Mr. Norter continues in his engagement. Professor Rini Schenk was then the HOD of the Department of Social Work, who is now a SAGI chair, and staff in the Department of Social Work, which will later be mentioned by Professor Marishan. By 2017, the UWC and said staff, with myself as the Dean, Professor de Jong as the Deputy Dean Learning and Teaching, and Dr. Lant, who was then the HOD, inclusive of the service modules and elective streams from the Faculties of Arts and Humanities, EMS, and CHS, respectively, we prepared a renewal for accreditation to the CHE and SAQA, resulting in a successful renewed accreditation in December 2018. During 2019 and 2020, all the developed curriculum content for the degree was reviewed, updated, as well as the appointment of academic and administrative staff for the program to start in 2021. Acknowledgement should also go to Dr. Cornell Hart, who was seconded to coordinate the implementation of the program. Today, we are here because of this journey. And with each and every one of you and others before us, we celebrate the power of collective action and stakeholder relations and partnership, because together we can achieve. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Rhoda. I think you've just reminded us that UWC has always been known to be nimble and resilient, but more importantly, you've drawn our attention to how important the collective is, how important our shared collaboration with our many partners are. And thank you for reminding us that this has not been a solo event. So thank you very much. So it's my pleasure now to invite the Department of HOD, Professor Marishan van der Westhuizen, the HOD of Social Work, and she's going to be sharing the vision and principles and also telling us where we're going from here and how are we going to put this on the ground to make it the best that it can. So welcome, Professor van der Westhuizen, HOD of Social Work.
Good morning, colleagues, Dr. Lont, colleagues, and honorable guests. Today it is my honor and privilege to represent the Department of Social Work, its staff, and its vision and values. We are extremely excited and proud to house the BCD degree program in the department. And as we are celebrating its launch today, we are also experiencing the development of our department as a whole. I'm humbled to be a part of this monumentum event, and not only in our department, but also at the University of the Western Cape and within our Faculty of Health and Community Sciences. I would also like to make use of this opportunity to just shortly reflect on the journey within the department that brought us here today. While so many people have worked diligently over many years, as Professor Rhoda also now said, it is impossible for me to name all without omitting a name. So I'm going to primarily mention the key driving forces behind the development of this program, but we thank you all and we honor you. The launch of this degree program was initiated in 2010 by the then head of department, Professor Rose September, who nominated Dr. Mari MacDonald to serve as the staff representative at the SAQA task team. Some of the key persons in this team is also present today, which I'm happy to say. The team set out to develop the 4-year BCD framework, and that was the first step towards the professionalization of community development. The initial UWC technical team, also mentioned by the Dean earlier, who were actively engaged in crafting the pathway for this offering at this time, included Professor Rina Swart, Dr. Cornell Hart, the then representatives of the Department of Dietetics and Human Ecology, and many other academics from departments, units, and faculties within the UWC. During 2014, Professor Rini Schenk, joined the UWC as the head of the Department of Social Work, and she then continued to work towards this offering with the then former deans of the faculty, as well as Professor Swart. Dr. Lont continued with this process during 2017 as the head of the department with the current dean, Professor Rhoda. As also said earlier, in 2020, we were very lucky and happy to welcome Dr. Hart, who was seconded to our department and then appointed at the end of 2020 as the coordinator for the BCD program. The purpose and secondment, the purpose of this secondment and later appointment had to do with the fact that we wanted to ensure that the curricula and its implementation reflects the appropriate norms and standards for the community development sector. The aim was also to implement and fulfill the academic and national and administrative professionalization, quality assurance, and standardization procedures. Throughout this time, the staff in the Department of Social Work supported this process and continued to be committed to the successful implementation of this program in our department. The launch of this degree builds on the history, vision, and commitment of the UWC to ensure social justice, fairness, and a better life for all. The Department of Social Work shares this vision and is committed to continue to the empowerment and development of all our communities. As such, we remain committed to ensure that all our graduates from our social service professions programs, that would be social work and community development, practice anti-discriminatory approaches, believe in the resilience of all our people, and engage in collaborative partnerships to achieve this vision. These are also the values that we embed in our learning and teaching, our curricula, and the attributes of both our graduates and staff. So in summary, the Department of Social Work has been supported throughout this journey by the UWC's academic and administrative structures, as well as the deans and staff of our faculty. The valuable lessons and insights from this almost 11-year period again emphasize the importance of and strength in collaboration and resilience. This ensured the instilling of a foundation from where graduates, staff, community members, partners, and organizations could and can experience and honor diversity, inclusivity, democracy, social justice, and human rights as we collectively work towards improved well-being. As the current head of the Department of Social Work, I am proud to confirm that this degree reflects those values, key elements, and sentiments that will position us and you to achieve the ideals we forged thus far. I'm looking forward to continue this journey with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor van der Westhuizen, and thank you for putting it down on the ground for us so that we know where we're going and what it is that we can expect for this degree to be the best that can be offered. So now it's my privilege to invite Mr. Peter Shapali, who's the Deputy Director General of the Department of Social Development National, and he's going to talk to us and help us think about the strategic importance of community development and why it is so necessary and why it's a significant component in South Africa today. So welcome, Deputy Director General. We look forward to your offerings. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Program Director, Dr. Marcel Lord, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Prof. Lewart, and all the deans of faculties that are there, including Prof. Roda, directors and HODs of the departments at the UWC, HOD of the Department of Social Development, HOD of the Department of Social Work, wherein this degree is offered, Prof. van der Westhuizen, official from the Department of Social Development at national and provinces, SAQA, and the CHE CEO, those that are coming from the private, the corporate, and NGOs that are here, and from the communities themselves. And also, let me greet the Community Development Professional Task Team members that are here. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and let me not forget our student of community development, the envisaged community development practitioners. Good morning, Huemore, Dumelang, Molweni, Nimachoroni. I'm very excited to be part of this praiseworthy occasion of the official launch of the Bachelor of Community Development at UWC. Let me congratulate the university for finally launching this degree. We know that if it hasn't been for other certain constraints, it would have been the first university to offer this profession of community development 4-year degree. But we are here today. We are so glad. Ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you of the mandate of the department, which makes this degree one of the best, the long-awaited degree that we should have since the department was formed. Our mandate relates to a broader social protection requirements as expressed in Section 9, 10, and 27 of the Constitution, and especially Chapter 11 of NDP, Vision 2030, which support the principle and the importance of democratic values, human dignity, social justice, and equality. These values are an aspiration in our constitution requires that we take action towards the main three problems that we have in the country. One is poverty, inequality, and unemployment, and also addressing the issue of inequality and ensuring that we provide access to the quality social services. And moreover, we are here to ensure that the income and support and the opportunity that we create for our community need a very robust, trained personnel. South Africa is still challenged by deep poverty, shortage of work, inequality, deep pre-existing poverty, lack of capacity, and the capabilities by most of the community to deal with their own development. We have drifted away from the old past of being self-sustainable. This requires new approach, new profession, new cadre of staff that will ensure that we move to the right direction. Our national development plan calls for a new approach. And I think the UWC, we are glad that you are on it, which promotes active citizenry, social cohesion, social and economic inclusion, people-driven development, and the development of people's capabilities to lead their own lives. There has been a lot of saying that maybe social development can address the challenges that this country is facing of GBV and other social ills. And I'm glad that today we are launching one of the best professions that is awaited, and we congratulate you for that. We also get the answers from the white paper. When the white paper was promulgated in 1997, it gave rise to the profession of CDP, Community Development Practitioners. And you can see how long we have traveled until today. The Department of Social Development is not complete. Communities are not complete, and our programs are not complete with the absence of professionalized qualified cadre of community development practitioners. This therefore mandated the department to provide strategic leadership and the guidance to the sector on community development practice. In trying to provide the mandated strategic leadership, the department discovered that the country need to ensure that there are people who are able to facilitate collective action needed to build communities, capabilities, and to empower communities and ensure that communities are sustainable. People who will possess that enable stakeholders and ensure that communities participate in an integrated planning process and a collective action. However, the department discovered that the greatest impediments was shortage of appropriate skills for us to reach our strategic goal, the lack of professional skills to render quality services and programs to communities. The white paper conceptualization provided the opportunity for the development of a new cadre of social development, as I've already alluded to. It was based on this that the Department of Social Development approached the South African Qualification Authority, SAQA, and entered into a joint implementation plan that led to the generation and the registration of the 3 accredited community development qualifications framework for level 4, level 5, and level 8. That was between 2009 and 2011. And I think some of the speakers have alluded to the journey we have traveled. We would like to thank people like Dr. Cornel Hart, together with the members of the Community Development Professionalization Task Team, who have been part of these processes since 2009. I'm told that in 2010, when the country was busy with the World Cup, they were closed behind doors, busy with the generation of this degree that we are launching today. We would like to thank you for that. Therefore, The department held several engagements with the higher education institutions since 2013. So a few years down the line, UWC is launching the degree. This is the second university after University of Free State that started offering the degree in 2017. More universities are in the pipeline. But I think today, as we are launching it, is one of the things that we appreciate as a department and as a government in all. Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, as community development is an emerging discipline and only now becoming fully recognized as an accredited profession in South Africa, the department is also busy with the community development professionalization process with the council. This is done so as to ensure that community development is also regulated. Standards for education are guaranteed. Training and development is set up to develop a competent cadre of community development practitioners. We anticipate that the South African Council for Social Services Profession will be adding a community development profession board in its list of board shortly. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is also a good timing that we launch this profession when the country just celebrated Human Rights Day. Student CDPs, yes, you are student of CDP because you have enrolled for the professional degree. We are saying to you, you need to pursue these quality services. You are expected to aspire and subscribe to the values and the principles that include social justice, respect, dignity, and human rights. Leadership of the UWC, I'm really honored to be here today because you are making history in this country. Let me assure you that this takeoff is of a good purpose. This launch of the degree is happening at a time when it is especially important to keep our society moving forward beyond the coronavirus pandemic to deal with the triple challenge that is bedeviling the country. May this degree produce CDPs that will refine quality for everyone has the freedom to pursue his or a purpose in life. CDPs who take on big, meaningful community development projects through their professional roles that they will play either as a change agent, service developer, access facilitator, or a capacity builder. We appreciate this and we support it. Student CDP, you will be known as UWC first cohort of this degree. You are going to be part of something bigger than yourself because you are needed. These expectations are within your reach. You just have to ensure that you do them in a way that gives everyone in the society a role through building communities, which is what community development is all about. Always remember that change starts locally. Even global changes started small with people like yourselves. Now you may be thinking, can I really do this? Yes, you will be able to do that if you listen to the OJs. You won't fail. So my message to you is take your time, do it right. You won't fail indeed. I already preempt your success and I say congratulations, class of 2024, and good luck. Program director, as I conclude, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the university for involving the Department of Social Development in the process of developing a degree that is being launched today, and for inviting the department to be part of this August event. I am committing that the department will continue working with you in advancing the community development agenda so as to significantly contribute improving the well-being of every citizen and unlocking their full potential. We are also talking to Treasury that we could also get a bursary or assistance for all those that wants to be to register with the university that will be offering this course. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take this opportunity to thank you for this honorous job. I thank you.
And we thank you, sir. Thank you for taking us back to the spirit of the NDP and the obligations that we have. Thank you for your generosity of a way forward with bursaries. Before we go and before I welcome the next speaker, may I just acknowledge the presence of another two individuals who probably can be described as those people who walk on water, have made their own significant contributions in the history of this country. I welcome our Vice Chancellor, Mr. Professor Tyrone Pretorius, and also Mr. Larry Pockworth from Institutional Planning. We're honored to have you join us and observe the proceedings today. Thank you very much, sir. So now it's my
thank you. It's my privilege to attend the launch of this very, very unique development in the history of UWC. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We're so pleased to have you. We know that you have a very, very busy schedule. So thank you so much for giving us that honor. So our next guest is from the Western Cape Department of Social Justice. Zwandile Hewi is going to talk to us about the importance of community development practitioners. Zwandile is the Chief Director in the Department of Community and Partnership Development. We welcome you, sir, and we look forward to what you have to share with us this morning.
Thank you, Prof. Good morning, everyone. My apologies, my camera this side is refusing to show my face at this morning. I'm sure my picture, which is on display, will probably suffice. Last week, the entire UWC community learned with shock the passing of one of its former student leaders, Mr. Cecil Esam. On behalf of many of his fellow students of the time, I wish to extend our heartfelt condolences to his family and his loved ones. Program Director, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Lavak, and your entire UWC team present today, the Dean of the Faculty of Community and Health Science, our host for today, distinguished representatives from the South African Council for Social Service Professions, the Deputy Director General of the Department of Social Development, lecturers present, student representatives, honored guests of this occasion, most importantly, the first student intake of this new degree at UWC. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, everyone. Today marks a great day in the social service and development calendar of the Western Cape. It is indeed a day to celebrate because this launch creates the enablers to cement the integrated service delivery model. Through this degree, social workers are now going to have their counterparts, community development practitioners, working alongside them in communities with communities to address community needs and challenges. The integrated service delivery model is a team-based, client-focused approach to provide community development and social welfare services to communities. Through this qualification, the role of community development as an intervention is taken to a higher level, complementing the roles played by other social service professions, allowing community development, CDPs, to work independently and with confidence in communities. Some of the challenges that hindered the growth of community development is the absence of practitioners who have a qualification in community development. This situation has created several service delivery gaps, robbing the communities of the most needed services towards their development. In the past 4 years, until at least 2020, in partnership with the Health and Welfare Sector Education and Training Authority, the Department of Social Development in the Western Cape has provided each year workplace experience to at least 50 social service development studies students because we could not get graduates in community development. We are aware that with a few who were with us for 12 months each time, most have been employed by non-governmental organizations and some by municipalities. One of my colleagues indicated that this degree and the professionalization of community development will ensure that marginalized communities that were on the periphery experiencing social exclusions will be able to receive better services, and CDPs will be central in rolling out those services. As the department, we preach that we must involve the private sector to partner with government in coordinating community development interventions. Sadly, due to the absence of CDPs, we are unable to live this dream. Certainly, the graduate of this degree in 4 years' time will fill this gap and improve government services. Government will have cadres with expert knowledge of how the developmental interventions could be rolled out with speed in communities. Following the approval of norms and standards for community development, the National Department of Social Development is working with provinces to review the CDP toolkit of 2009. This process is aimed at ensuring that the toolkit is aligned to approved community development norms and standards. The Office of the Head of Department at DSD Western Cape has established a task team comprising of CDPs, supervisors, community development managers, and senior managers to rework all community development job descriptions and align them with the approved community development norms and standards. This is an excellent development. I have no doubt the different universities that are already offering a qualification in community development will accordingly align their curricular standards in line with these norms and standards. With academically qualified CDPs, all areas we were historically not able to cover in the department in rendering and delivering services to citizens will be fully operationalized. The department will be able to work with municipalities, with structures of civil society and the private sector to advance the ideals enshrined in the National Development Plan of our country. Through this qualification, all CDPs will occupy their change agent role in society at large, and communities will be galvanized in the interest of their development, focusing on interventions designed with them as opposed to those unilaterally imposed to them. On behalf of the Western Cape Department of Social Development, I stand here to applaud the University of the Western Cape for initiating a qualification in this part of the country. This will enable those who are currently employed to further their studies through part-time education and expand the cadership of community development. I wish to end by congratulating all DSD employed CDPs and their assistant community development practitioners who stood resolute and continued to deliver community development services to communities in the past 10 years under very, very difficult circumstances. Today is the beginning of a clear career path for them. Community development is key in addressing development needs in communities. Thank you very much, Program Director.
Thank you so much, Chief Director, Mr. Zwanzili Hewu. I think that your comments have just reminded us about the golden thread that goes with norms and standards, making sure that our curricula is appropriate and contextual, and that the proper leadership structures are in place. So thank you for a very, very stimulating presentation. We thank you. My next pleasure and duty is to introduce the coordinator of the Bachelor of Community Development. And it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Hart to you, who's been appointed as the coordinator and will walk us through the nuts and bolts of the BCom degree. Thank you, Dr. Hart.
Thank you very much, Program Director, and all our distinguished guests today. We are indeed very grateful that you could join us today at this momentous celebration. As you've heard from all our previous presenters, it's been a journey, but a journey is only as successful as all the collaborators and partnerships and stakeholders that joined with us. And I hope that today is just a benchmark of where we are still going to walk the next journey with all of you. So my role is actually very, very short today, and that's just to give you a short introduction to what is the content or what is the focus area, so to speak, of the UWC Bachelor of Community Development degree. So I will not take up too much of your time, because I think one of our most important share moments this morning would be after my presentation, where we will share a short clip of some of our cohort who started last Monday, the first day of this journey of 4 years in their degree. And not all of them could join today because they are in class, so very committed, but we've taken some video clips, like we call it, uncut, and so that it is as if they are sitting with us in this Zoom venture this morning. So what is our community development practitioner focus or drive? We want to, as you've heard from many of our previous presenters, to produce the next cohort of change agents. And to be a change agent means that it is something that must be within, it is a passion that must drive you, and it's something that requires resilience, it requires specific knowledge, conceptualizations, and skill sets. And so for that, we also wanted to have our change agents to be able to communicate, participate, mobilize, and engage with stakeholders and members from all institutions, all organizations, all levels of society, and that no level is more important than another. So a big focus is about sensitivity towards diversity. Our degree focuses also on making sure that the content of this degree aligns with the UWC graduate attributes, our brand, so that when our change agents are seen in communities, in society, and the world at large, that people will be able to identify and say, I am UWC. So community development practitioners find themselves in a variety of job positions. And so you've heard from public sector today, but a big number of them are employed at not just national, provincial, or local government, but at community level. And so here we will find several of them at NGOs, FBOs, faith-based organizations, volunteer groups. And so in that, we needed to make sure that our students get exposure to all different types of employment in which they can find themselves after graduation. So we also have corporate. Students were very surprised on last week when I explained to them how OUTsurance, Pick n Pay, Hewlett Sugar, all of them employ community development practitioners. And then the sky is the limit, where some of them will end up in the United Nations sub-programs, in World Bank, etc. So what do we focus on? We focus on the discourse of community development in its totality. What is its theory? What is its approaches? What is its definitions? Because many definitions exist. And so there's a lot of challenges in the scholarship community around how do we define community, what is the best theory, etc. So we want them to get that exposure too. At the same time, we focus on a lot of skills that they need to inquire and acquire. And the inquiry nature that we bring across is so that we want our change agents to be critical thinkers, to challenge the world, to challenge the pandemics such as COVID-19, because that's what brings true change. And so in the 4 years from the second year onwards, our students do a big practicum, or what we call work placements, so that they can go to different entities, different organizations, different employment sectors, so to speak, and gain experience. But to make sure that we have a community development practitioner that understands society and community as a whole, we needed to ensure that they have a multidisciplinary focus, that they don't just see life even in the classroom with only fellow CDP peers, but that they are exposed to other faculties, to other departments, and therefore other disciplines. And so because of that, we have subjects such as ethics from the Department of Theology. We have human geography from the Department of Geography. We have policy, local government, politics, conflict, all of that from EMS faculty in our School of Government. And at the same time, we also focus on a big component of sociology, understanding group dynamics, stratification, classifications of society. And so from the second year on, we want students to have an elective, something where they can really sort of kick their heels in and say, this is community development, but specifically with a focus on either community nutrition, and for that we work with the Department of Dietetics, or community sport, where we work with the departments of sports science. And so we hope that in these two elective streams that we offer for now, that we can later on add some more. There was many ideas and many elective streams that were developed at the time of packaging it, but we were asked in the beginning to just take 2 streams at a time, as we have just started dipping our toes into this new water. And we hope that this degree will bring about the change that we all are hoping to see. We will, after this event, when we share the recordings, etc., we will share with you also a brochure that captures everything that I have discussed with you now. Thank you, Program Director.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hart, for giving us that enlightenment. So now we wait for the showstopper. We hear from our students. So please help me to welcome the voices of those students. Thank you, Dr. Hart, if you're ready to go with your video.
Thank you, Dr. Lunt. I'm just having it all set up quickly.
Okay, so while we wait, I think it's been an absolutely wonderful morning, just having people represent their sectors so well. You know, UWC showing their vision, the resilience, the partnerships. So I'm excited about the way forward with this degree. Dr. Hart, are you ready to roll?
I am ready, Dr. Lunt. And so, colleagues, please sit back, like our e-learning team always say on campus, kick back, sit back, and enjoy the movie. These were shared by only 20 of our students. I had to cut some of the clips. They were very nervous. They said, no, we want to take a take 2 or take 3. I said, nope, you're going to do that TikTok of yours as if we asked you in the event to share. And so it's like we say, off the cuff. But please enjoy as we celebrate our students in this big moment of how they share with us their drive and their passion.
Hi, my name is Isakanya August, and I'm currently studying to be a community development practitioner. And I've chosen this degree because I want to add value into the community development practice, and by exploring and coordinating partnerships. I want to be able to plan services for the community, run support and social groups in the community, increase the skills of the people that live in the community, implement resources for the community needs, make sure that there is social justice in the community, and motivate and empower individuals and communities as well.
Hi, my name is Robin Lee Carolus. Why did I choose to become a community development practitioner? This course is something really close to my heart. Coming out of a community like Delft, where I first-hand experience as to the struggles that many communities face in South Africa. Unemployment, poverty, starvation, domestic violence. These are few of the issues that many communities face that has not been addressed. They're still struggling to fix these issues. Part of a force that is working to better and improve the lives of the members in the community.
My name is Michelle Massetti and I'm a first year student in Bachelor of Community Development. I want to be a community development practitioner because I always wanted to work hand in hand with people who are in vulnerable or endangered communities, motivating them to enhance their own lives, upskill them on how to support each other, or even bandwidth on difficult times. Also develop into better society, make better communities and sustainable development.
Good morning, guys. My name is Busham Tohana. I am a community development student at UWC. What a UWC what a UWC practitioner does is that they provide services to individuals of any age to make sure that they get the necessary needs like education or any type of skills that they would need throughout their whole entire lives to survive or bring value to a certain community.
Hi, my name is Hilda, and I chose to become a community development practitioner mainly because I want to make a difference in the lives of others. Community development aims to better the lives of others, and I'd love to be a part of something this big.
Hello everyone, my name is Sam. I chose to pursue a degree in community development because it is important. It provides a community a foundation to build off and to improve the livelihood of its people. It's basically, I feel like it is a good degree because you get to do something that is very meaningful, that is helping people, and I enjoy helping people. I could say it's one of my passions. I like working with other people towards a common goal, making a change.
Hi all, my name is Taylor Adams, and the reason I chose this field is because I come from a rural community. I see the social inequalities and injustices the people in my community live through and struggle with every day. As a person, my main characteristics are helping everyone and anyone to the best of my ability. I chose this course because it speaks to my heart, and I believe if I graduate as a community development practitioner, I will be able to make a great impact on social challenges within a community.
Hello everyone, my name is Odwa Makongwana. My drive to be a community development practitioner is to provide information and assistance relating to a wide range of matters, to act as a change agent by adding value to the community development practice, by exploring and coordinating networks and partnerships, to conduct community-based research, to inform interventions aligned to relevant legal and regulatory frameworks. Thank you.
My name is Zipotunya and I have chosen to become a community development practitioner because I believe that I can be the change that I want to see. And even better, I can be part of a practice that will create the change that I want to see. Now, according to my understanding, community development is not only about the environment, it's not only about a certain place, but it is also about the people. that are within that community. Now, when a community is developed, the society as a whole is developed.
Good day to you all. My name is Lesego Tony Hall, and the reason why I chose to be a community development practitioner is because it provides the foundation a city builds off to improve the lives of its citizens. It creates strong, diverse communities that are able to attract and keep talent, start and grow businesses, and overcome issues that arise. Community development is more than just a job, it's a calling, and it takes someone with an abundance of warmth and empathy. If you are a people person with a passion for justice and helping others, you will thrive in this role.
We can
Hi
do the
guys,
clip,
my
so
name is
I
Ali
think I
Krishna
can go back into the Zoom.
BCD student, Bachelor in Community Development student. So, the reason why I chose this course is because I'm passionate about changing people's lives, and I'm also driven by my surroundings, the community I'm actually living in, and also wanting to make change in other communities as well, and maybe in a few years later in the whole world.
Hey, my name is Cornelia Mbanambi. I want to be a community development practitioner because I want the skill and the knowledge to make a positive difference in any neighborhood, but mostly to improve in economic future and the quality of life for all. I want to change the relationship between ordinary people and people in position of power so that everyone can take part in any issue that affects their life.
Good day all. My name is Selepi Mahlangu and I'm a community development student. The reason I chose to study towards becoming a community development practitioner is because I've seen communities in need, and more especially, I've seen my community in need. You see, I'm a proudly Ndebele girl from Gwandebele, and for years I've seen the beautiful people of my nation struggling in rural and underdeveloped areas while I lived in the city of Pretoria. So like my father before me, I decided to use my education towards becoming the person my community needed me to be. And I think that community development is the way to do it.
I'm Kenisha. I've recently been accepted by UWC to study community development. I'm from the Cape Flats. Now, my community has been riddled with many challenges, and one of the most biggest challenges is a lack of leadership. For the longest time, I wanted to implement change by being a role model to the young women and young girls in our communities.
Hi guys, my name is Nkosazana Feliciano Voizana. I am a first year student at the University of the Western Cape, and I'm studying Bachelor in Community Development. So, I chose to pursue a career in being a community development practitioner because I want to be able to motivate and inspire other people.
Hey, it's Tara Lee van Rensburg, and the reason why I want to become a community development practitioner is because I want to give back to my community in the form of helping families and empowering them. I want to know I made a positive impact also.
Good day. My name is Bulunkum Kichima. I chose to study community development because I actually believe there's an opportunity to bring change to communities, not only mine. Helping others is something that I've always been passionate about, and I believe with me studying community development, it will give me the platform and actually allow me to do something that I love. And in this situation, that would be me developing the standard of living for people in need.
Hi, my name is Tandon Lebe, but you can refer to me as your CDP. Well, what inspired me to do community development is the community that I grew up in. Growing up with less knowledge, less skills, and insufficient resources was a struggle, and not only for me, but for other individuals. Well, I believe that with this degree, I can make the quality of life for others to improve, and I can also improve the community that I live in.
Good day, everyone. My name is Rihanna Adams. I am a first-year student at the University of the Western Cape. The reason why I want to become a community development practitioner is because I have a passion for working with people, and also I like helping out where I possibly can. Going into the Department of Community Development will also give me an opportunity to share my passion with others. And I'm so excited for this journey that's ahead of us. And I also cannot wait to meet my fellow peers and my awesome lecturers. Thank you so much for listening.
Hi, I am Amanda Newswa from KZN. Let's get to it, shall we? Why am I here? I chose a community development degree as my curiosity runs deep as to why. A very strong why at that. Why is there such an imbalance in society? Why are people going downhill? Why isn't there a rescue team? Why are people just left to drown in poverty? Why, and more whys? Why isn't there a solid development plan which will help benefit the people in the now and in the long run? Which then drives my passion to do my bit all day, every day, to find problems, come up with solutions which will be beneficial for the old, the young, and future generations. This is in a nutshell why I chose a community development degree. Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is Melissa Rigua and I am currently 19 years old. The reason I chose to study community development this year is because my parents exposed my siblings and myself from a very young age to helping the community and familiarizing ourselves with it. So from a young age, I think I've kind of known that I really enjoyed helping people, and as I got older, the love for that only grew.
That is it, Dr. Lance. A few short clips from our students with some creativity, music in the background, thoughts and ideas. And this was, ladies and gentlemen, on Monday morning, they were told, let's talk about why are you here and what drives you as a CDP. Thank you, Program Director.
Thank you, Dr. Hart. I think, colleagues, you would agree with me, if that was not the showstopper, then I don't know what is. And I think I want to agree with some people in the chat that these students are challenging us to what it is to be committed to the heart of a community. I think also for us to be a witness to this kind of history in the making, it's a privilege, and I look forward to the future. Certainly the future for me with this group of young people looks very hopeful. It's on that note that I hand over to the Deputy HOD of Social Work to deliver her word of thanks. Dr. Shanaz Carlson, Deputy H of Social Work. Deputy HOD, Social Work. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lance. Good morning, colleagues, stakeholders, partners, community development practitioners, all our esteemed guests, and of course, our first cohort of Bachelor of Community Development first-year students. This is indeed a historical day for UWC, and it is only fitting to acknowledge and thank those who have played an integral part in getting us here. As such, the Department of Social Work staff thank and acknowledge the following pioneers, collaborators, stakeholders, and partners who were instrumental in developing and designing the BCD, and those who are now facilitating learning and teaching in the BCD. Firstly, we would like to acknowledge the National Department of Social Development, who have been and remains a key stakeholder in the process towards initiating professionalization of the degree, for which the first step involved the partnership with and support of the South African Qualifications Authority to develop and for the legislating the standardized professional community development degree. There are also a number of who pioneered the process for establishing the degree program. And so the Department of Social Work staff therefore would like to thank our former Vice-Chancellor, Professor Brian O'Connell, Professor Baruthram, Mr. Vincent Morta, and all other deans and HODs who were part of the initial process in the accreditation, development, and design in the first stages of this process. We also thank and acknowledge the feedback and input from various task teams from the Department of Higher Education, the Council on Higher Education, SAQA, and all relevant sectors, education, training authorities. And in most recent years, the South African Council for Social Service Professions, as we now move towards the election and inauguration of the Professional Board for Community Development next year. We'd not be here today without the hard work spearheaded by the Institutional Technical Committee of 2010, supported by the Professionalization Steering Committee that was initiated by DSD, that began the process of engaging with various faculties across UWC. They are Professor Baruthram, Professor Tahir Hood, Mr. Vincent Morta, Professor Joseph Franz, and Professor Rina Swat. We thank you indeed. The department also thanks and acknowledge the contribution by Dr. Mari Miller McDonald, who were key in driving the process at department level with our former HODs, Professor Schenk and Professor Lont. We acknowledge those the work done by those in the UWC community, in particular, the Community Engagement Unit under the leadership of Professor Priscilla Daniels, who also contributed to the content of the degree, application and accreditation to CHE and to SAQA. Indeed, we are grateful and wish to thank our current Dean, Professor Roda, Deputy Dean of Learning and Teaching, Professor Jose de Jong, Professor Jocelyn de Jong, Mr. Morta, and our former HODs, Dr. Lon, for preparing the renewal accreditation submission in 2017 to CHE and SAQA that now resulted in the accreditation in 2018. Indeed, the journey, its process and challenges experienced were highlighted by other presenters, and it was indeed not easy. And it brought us to today. So we were finally able to offer access to our first cohort of BCD students in 2021. And so we thank our current DVC, Professor Vivian Lavak, Professor Swat, Professor Franz, and Dr. Vanessa Brown from the Academic Planning Unit, Mr. Morta, and as well as our former HODs, Professor Schenk and Lont, and Dr. Lont, and our current HOD for their persistence to get a degree as an offering in the social work department. To Dr. Hart and all our colleagues across CHS, Arts, and EMS, who from day one in 2010 partnered, not only contributing to the development of the degree, but this year and in years to come, will be facilitating the learning and teaching in the degree. We thank you. We wish you success as we collectively showcase multidisciplinary and co-creation of curricula at UWC. A day like this, colleagues, would not be possible without administrative and technical support. And as such, the Department of Social Work staff that acknowledge our former administrator, Ms. Maureen Malloy, as well as our current administrators, Ms. Shamika Coward and Ms. Gracia Fisher, for their administrative support during the process, for preparing documents, to facilitating student selection and planning timetables. Thank you to Institutional Advancement for your unconditional support and guidance, ICS, CHS faculty, administrators, and PR colleagues, and Dr. Hart for making this event and the Zoom platform a memorable and celebratory reality today. As I close, the Department of Social Work thank all our esteemed guests and our very first cohort of BCD first-year students for joining us on this momentous day. Thank you, and we look forward to the next phase of the collective journey with all of you as we go forward in producing the next generation of change agents. Take care and stay safe. Thank you, Program Director.
Thank you so much, Dr. Carlson. Colleagues, you'll agree with me that this was an exciting, exciting day. I think for some of us, there are very few events that make your toes curl. This event certainly had my toes curling. And listening to the students, listening to their heart, listening to our various speakers and presenters, we're looking forward to a very exciting time as we deliver this and offer this degree. So the kind of work that will happen beyond this workshop and this launch is Dr. Hart would be providing everybody with a recording of the meeting. There will be some information sent about the program, the brochures, and if you have any burning issues, please drop us an email. And please know that as a team, we'll continue building this in the way forward. So God bless and thank you all. Thank you for your time and thank you for spending it with us this morning. Thank you. God bless. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Thank you all. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Have a good day.
Thank you. Well done.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Viva Comte, viva.
Bye.
Goodbye, Mr. Martha.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.